Hello YouTube, today is episode 12 on the model farm. So today it's a bit more of a, I don't know, not a miserable day, it's a bit of a rainy day, but less things to do. So that you can just see somebody who we may know this person from the other series, but as well, if you've heard in the latest news, there has been the protest. I think it was on Friday or maybe even a week ago. But I think it happens a bit later here. So, not to get too political, but as you would know, a lot of tractors were blocked into London, I think it was. So, these tractors here are just from the local community, and loads of people have come together to come and celebrate these unsung heroes who make the things that we eat. Now, obviously, this is just to make it aware, but we do need farmers. I'm not going to be like a climatist or like a politician. We don't need farmers, we do need them. But we do, and it's that simple. No farmers, no food, no future. So, if you like protests, peaceful protests, this is the one for you. Not big protests. But, so starting off in the historic village of Hedon. Here we have got some models which I got from the NEC at the UK's biggest model show. So we've got that Merc, that lorry, and we've got that beautiful Lancia. Is it a Lancia? No, Lancer. Evo, very nice. So in here we've just got loads of cars parked up in the car park. Transit's just going off as the boy racers come through. One of them has either just bought this or is just driving it for the day. Hopefully he's just bought it because he's probably going to wreck it because he's drifting at the moment, which he didn't realise there was a massive lorry here. And this lorry here, old Leland Danf, I think, dropping off some beers for Billy Bob's Beers. So that's all good. Put his forklift back. You can go back home and maybe even get a free pint. Oh, that's great. Nice Beamer. Now here, we've got some people who you may know, you might remember. James and Mick, contractors. That might ring a bell, especially if you're an OG to the channel. But they're just coming through. Well, I think they are on a long draw to, I think it's, surprisingly, I think it's London, believe it or not. But they've gone this way because the other way was blocked with the tractors, ironically. But I've just got a new low loader, which is a custom model by me. Comment down below what you think of it. I mean, it could do with some work, and it's scratching the ground just at the moment. But normally they'd have a big old fent on this, but fent, I think it was easier to get on this because it's a faster tractor and it's got more horsepower. But we've got Mick here and James just driving in there. He's just making sure that everybody knows. Hopefully the lorry will move, but you know, he might be packing up, so let's hope so. Landy's just there, and as we move into David and Jones and Jim's yard. Now I say Jim's yard because Jim doesn't use the other yard. The other yard is practically now an outer yard because Jim now works there almost full time. Surprisingly though, I don't think his car's here. That's annoying. I wonder there it is, it's just in the workshop. But a few a few fendts, and there's two fendts. I was getting confused with deuces, I think. But honestly, they're practically the same, aren't they? I mean, one's probably older than the other, but they're both green German ingenuity, aren't they? But Classic Tractor, I think, has come round because they were just driving through and they saw this beautiful three tractors actually. We've got, I think you know what this is, the very rare 522LX Fendt, which is owned by a lad who is becoming quite popular on social media now, I think. So I don't know what his tag is or whatever, but he will be at this tractor run because they're all prepping for another tractor run in a week or so, and then there's I think another one happening on that same week, so they all thought they'd come together. We've got Jim's son's Xylon, which is now Jim's son's, which, I mean, that is a dream tractor, to be fair, isn't it? That is beautiful. Shouldn't be on work, that shouldn't. That should sit in the museum, but he puts it to work and then washes it, so as long as you're doing that and as long as it's not getting broken, that's good. And that's what Jim said. So the big old fent here is the contractors, and they've just parked it there because, you know what, it's a modern classic, isn't it? It's just an old tractor being used most days, especially on construction sites, which it's just been on. So they all came up for a meet-up, and this lad was just driving through, just having a nice summer drive, and he just saw all these tractors. I say summer, it was piddling down just about as he started to come in, raining, but he thought he'd just come round and have a photo with him, because I think, is that a Doots? I think that might be a Doots. I thought it was a Fent originally, but as I've said, they're pretty similar. But probably offended loads of Fent and Doots fans there, but they are pretty similar. But I think you might just get a picture, can see 4 classic German legends, which wouldn't be wrong. Speaking of German legends, wow, we've got loads tractor mixes here. We've got, obviously, the big old JCB, British made, so they need to promote that, but not saying anything badly, but got T3 there, just holding everybody up ironically. You'd think it was the tractors, but no. Got the Doots then, Ailey's just pulling in, I think he's taking a few photos. Johnny's there. If you've watched Ollie Blog's video, there was a lad who had a JCB Fast Track and was in Santa Claus gear and was driving in his Fast Track with a tree on the back. So a few other farmers are doing this just to say why they're important, other than food, snow ploughing, gritting, and a load of jobs which people probably ignore. But we've got we've got David and Jones just driving through. They've been, I don't think they've actually been up to London. I think they've just been into the city centre, I think, of Derby, or Nottingham, Derbyshire, bits of places like that, on a bit of a convoy. Got the nice, wonderful T7. That's definitely going to be at the tractor run. That is a pristine tractor. I'd love to have my hands on that, but got a few fans supporting here, just pulled in. Never seen the lay-by so busy, and thankfully it's for a good cause. They're all shouting and cheering, woohoo, honking the horns and all of that good stuff. The lad on the landy's been waiting for, I think, an hour now, blocking the road. As not just for him, but there's another bit of a roadblock that's gone on, bit of a crash. But he's just seeing now this lad who's driven all the way from, I think it was quite like maybe 100 miles away, just to promote why it's good to eat food, practically. But he's got Help Save Farmers, so he's just driving through. And they've all got pallets, it seems, aside from the voucher and Doots, just to say why you should support it. And this lad's just come down with his Raptor, just making sure, with the beacons on, making sure everybody knows it's a bit of a slow convoy. But he's also got his homemade tow trailer with an old Ferguson TEA on it, which is just to say our elders still do farming. I think he's got his dad still in there driving the pickup, so that's all good. And Alan's just come out. See, first sighting of Alan this week, so he's just walked down, put up a sign. Don't think he did that, I think his son did that. But he's just put up a big sign, no farms, no food. Pretty true. But police are just going through, because there's been a bit of a crash, which we'll get to in a minute. But loads and loads of stuff is going on Andy's farm. But what we'll see is they're getting the silage clamp through very quickly. That's just from a week, so you can imagine that's going to be quick. But to be fair, they are trying to fatten the cows up, and hopefully they'll get a bit more bales in. But they're trying not to make. They're trying to only make about two feed rations a day at most, maybe one sometimes. As you can see, the cows have loads of feed. Some of it slips and some of it just goes into there. They haven't yet got an actual eating ring yet, like one of those things that goes across made out of metal that the cows can peek through. But they haven't yet got that. But yeah, the young lad was just loading up with the class, and he's got the Fordson. He hasn't been able to use the Fordson for a while, but I think soon they'll get like an electric fence around here so that the cows can eat as much as they want, and then the lads can just scrape it, and some of them can sleep, they can do whatever. But I think I've said police are going through. A few telegraph pole things have fallen down. That's my fault, I take full responsibility. But the Atkins son is doing brilliant. Love to see that lorry, to be fair. And the milkman's just come, new milkman, it's the same with the vet, an old lad who Mick's known for a long time. So he's just come down in his old Escort van. Beautiful. That is another model that I picked up from the model show. Landing trailers there. The county was just having its annual service because I think it will be going off to the tractor run. And it's now got a new turbo, which is very cool, very nice. Manure pile's doing alright. We've got the Volvo there. Young lads decided to get the Volvo out as the cows were sort of licking at it and he didn't want to damage it. Because, as you know, cows can damage vehicles very quickly. But the Volvo will be a nice, especially in summer, it will be a nice knockabout. Especially when it can start to get it fixed. But everywhere is so busy because the cows are obviously in. So cows, these are the pregnant ones. They'll probably eventually go into another shed. As I don't know whether, comment down below, can you mix pregnant and non-pregnant cows together? You'd imagine that you could, but I don't know. But they're just having a nice bale. As the ground, yeah, it's, but because these, I think they're dry cows, they can just hold up with it. But had to move the trough there so that they can load it using the Merlot. Speaking of the Merlot, a lad's stolen their Range Rover and crashed it into their hedge, into their gate. So Merlot's come down to, I think this is actually Mick here. So it's really busy at Andy and Mick's, but I think the son's in the JCB and they're going to try and lift it up. And then thankfully, I think this is actually Jim. Yeah, this is Jim. He's come round with the trailer, emergency call, and then he'll just take it to scrap heap or to a police station. Unfortunate, isn't it? It's sites of the rural place. It's like fly tipping, but worse, I'd say, because I think they were going to roll the field. They can't roll it now. But so it's just annoying, isn't it? But hey ho. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below if you're excited for the tractor run, because I definitely am. And the real tractor run will be coming out soon. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.